So we're here to say again, firstly, that it's been an incredible week, an incredibly successful week already. Regardless of what some of you might have reported, on Monday, we believe we had 20,000 people in the streets with the coalition from the immigrant rights movement, from the Black Liberation Movement, from the movement to stop police crimes, reproductive rights, LGBTQ rights, women's rights, labor rights, all of the different social movements that are part of this coalition and part of the social sectors of all of U.S. society were here, and they were talking about their issues, and they had posters describing their issues and banners and puppets and all of it, but they all said very clearly that the central issue for our protest, the central issue for this week of the DNC, the central issue in the world today is Palestine, and how we need to stop U.S. aid to Israel. We need to stop the genocide. We need to make demands of those people in that building down the block who are complicit in the genocide and the killing of over 40,000 Palestinians, the injuring of over 100,000 Palestinians, and the displacement of over 2 million Palestinians.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tamia Boughnaim. I'm an emergency physician based here in Chicago, and as Hatem mentioned, I have been to Gaza twice now in the last 6 months. I just got back 3 days ago. As an ER doctor, and as one of the few humanitarian aid workers that Israel is allowing into the Gaza Strip, I have had a front row seat to the violence that Israel is enacting upon Palestinian civilians in Gaza. I specifically want to mention the crimes that I have seen. Crimes against children, crimes against civilians. In my time in the Gaza Strip, every single day, we would see evidence of deliberate targeting of civilians. We would see evidence of targeting, we would receive injured people from so-called humanitarian zones, from safe zones. There is no safe zone in Gaza. Israel has made sure of that. In the span of a few days in the ER at Nasser Hospital, I saw horrifying injuries that indicated deliberate targeting of children. I saw a 19-month-old girl who had been shot in the leg by a quadcopter while she was playing outside of her family's tent. This was witnessed. I saw the injuries myself and I documented them. In the span of another day, I saw a preteen boy come into the emergency department carried by his family, who was living near Nasser Hospital, who had been shot through the left side of the chest. One single shot. That indicates a deliberate targeting of this child. The next day, I received a 19-year-old male who had been used as a human shield by the Israeli army, and when he was released by them after they ensured that he was walking through Khan Yunis and Rafah all day, after he was released and walking away from his captors, he was shot in the right side of the chest. The evidence is incontrovertible. It is obvious and it is clear, and it has been clear for the last 10 months, that Israel is using US-made weapons to target civilians.
Walk up on the sidewalks. That's where you guys can't. Guys, you can't be out here. You got to be back. Everybody back in the crosswalk. You can't be in this neutral zone between the police and the marchers. You cannot be out here. You got to be over there. Sidewalks. Sidewalks. Back by the crosswalk. Press cannot be out here in the neutral zone. You have to be off to the side. You have to go back.
week.
We will not tolerate what America has been giving us for all these years. This is a new generation, these are new times. We are stepping up. We are following the wisdom of our elders and taking on the strength of the youth, and we are saying no more to America. No more bad checks, no more broken promises. We are saying no black agenda, no vote. If you must earn our vote.
Right on.
That right next to the United Center where the Democrats are meeting is Malcolm X College. And I want you all to keep track of that contrast between the sanitized, sterilized, deodorized spirit of the convention and Malcolm's love and courage and for realness. And they told Malcolm, shut up.
Right on.
They told Malcolm, don't raise your voice in a critique of the two-party system.
Come on.
They told Malcolm, don't criticize American foreign policy given the vicious imperialist expansion in Africa, be it coordinated with Britain and Ghana and many other places. And what did Malcolm do?
Huh.
He followed the anthem of black people, which is lift every
voice and sing. Right on.
Malcolm lifted his voice. He wasn't an echo.
Come on.
You got too many echoes in the conventions.
Right on, right on.
Right.
Malcolm said, I will start with loving black people.
Come on.
I will start focusing on the plight of black people. And yes, we will be in solidarity with our Palestinian brothers and sisters.
Absolutely.
Of course we'll be in solidarity
with
our Haitian black brothers and sisters in the Congo,
in Congo.
Sudan, in Brazil. They could be Irish in Britain. If they're being colonized, I stand with them. But you start on the chocolate side of town.
Right on.
Come on, brother.
That's why this black agenda ain't no joke.
Right on.
And I'm going to talk about why Native American and Palestinian solidarity is so important. Like I said, I'm Osage, or Neo-Kashkan, what we call ourselves. And at home, I speak the Osage language, Wajajaie, with my family. But I'm not fluent, I don't speak it well, it's not my first language, because it is nobody's first language. Because my people suffered a genocide where our language, our land, and our people were systematically repressed by the US-backed settler colonial project of the United States. Does this sound familiar?
Yeah.
It should sound familiar because the same thing is happening in Palestine right now. The US-backed Israeli government is killing the Palestinian people to dispossess them of their land and to get rich. The methods of genocide between the indigenous people of the Americas and the Palestinians may be different, but the goals are the same. The goals are to get money and power for the ruling class at our expense.
Genocide in the history of the world. You can't play the role of firefighter and arsonist at the same time. That's a contradictory stance, and we're no fools. This new generation of activism will not buy into that message. Personally speaking, I think what it's time for is for whichever government that's in power is to actually listen to the voices on the ground. So whichever party that you eventually belong to, I don't know if you'll eventually be corrupted if you start off good and you end up being bad. The issue for me is actually fighting for the very values that you are practicing. You can't claim to fight for those values and then practice something that is antithetical to those values. That's what this administration is doing. And Kamala Harris has not prevented an alternative, a different, a distinguishable vision or agenda. It's the same old, and you know you can't expect voters to interpret your stance as anything different just by saying it in a softer tone and doing it with a smile and having a younger voice attached to it. Sorry, that won't change the essence of the policy, and the essence of the policy is enabling the genocide. Sure. Tariq Khalil, board member of American Muslims for Palestine in Chicago, attorney and Palestinian human rights activist.